Today we're going to compare two very important past tenses in English, the past simple and the past continuous. These two tenses are often used together, so it's very important to understand the difference and how they work in the same sentence. Let's start with the past simple. We use the past simple to talk about actions that are finished in the past. These actions are complete. They have a clear beginning and a clear end. We often use time expressions like yesterday, last week, last year, on Monday, or this morning if the time is finished. For example, we say, I visited my friend yesterday, or she finished her homework last night. These actions are complete, so we use the past simple. Now let's look at the past continuous. We use the past continuous to talk about actions that were in progress at a specific moment in the past. These actions were happening. They were not finished at that moment. For example, at midnight, I was sleeping in my bed. This means that at that exact time, the action was in progress. Another example is, yesterday morning, I was walking through Paris. So here we are focusing on the action in the middle, not the beginning or the end. We also use the past continuous to talk about two actions happening at the same time in the past. For example, I was running while she was walking. Both actions were happening together. Another example is, while they were studying, I was reading a book. This helps us describe situations with more detail, especially when we tell stories. The past continuous is also very useful to describe a scene or a situation in the past. For example, imagine you arrive at an airport. When I got off the plane, people were rushing to get their luggage, some were walking calmly, and somebody was shouting while others were putting things back in their suitcase. Here we use the past continuous to describe what was happening around us at that moment. Now let's see how we use the past simple and the past continuous together. This is very important. We use them together when one action interrupts another action. The longer action is in the past continuous, and the shorter action that interrupts it is in the past simple. For example, I was studying when my mum came home. The studying was in progress, and then the mum came home and interrupted that action. We often use the word when before the past simple part and while before the past continuous part. For example, we were listening to music when her dad called. Or we can change the order and say, her dad called while we were listening to music. Both sentences mean the same thing, but the focus is slightly different. Here's another example. He was sleeping when somebody broke into his house. The sleeping is the long action, and broke into his house is the short action that interrupts it. Or we can say, somebody broke into his house while he was sleeping. So, to finish, remember this. Use the past simple for finished actions, and use the past continuous for actions in progress in the past. When you use them together, the past continuous gives the background, and the past simple gives the interrupting action. If you practice these structures, you will be able to tell stories in English more clearly and naturally.